So you may have noticed that a lot of my music has weird forms. And what I mean by form is not always, or it's never really like verse, chorus, verse, bridge. It's the way that things are kind of organized. Some might say is a little different. And I think the reason why that is because the way that I approach writing the music from the beginning. So what I like to do is I like to think about it like a movie script. And this is something I've thought about for a while, and this is what I apply before I start to really write any piece of music. I think about it like a movie script. So I literally sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'll write out almost like the scenes of what's going to happen. So in the same way where like someone who's writing a script might say, okay, so the guy's going to walk into the building and the building's going to be on fire and he's going to see this book, and the book, he has to save the book because the book is going to be worth something, and he has to hand the book to this other person in order to save the world, and blah, blah, blah. So I just made that up. But before I write a piece of music, I pretty much do that, except with music. So, for example, I'm going to make one up right now. I might say something like, okay, it's going to start with the steel pans, and the steel pans are going to do like a repeating pattern. And at this point, I don't know what it's going to be, but I'll literally write that down. Steel pans will start with a repeating pattern. And then next, the kick drum. The kick drum's going to come in with the pattern that is kind of offset from my pattern. But then the bass guitar is going to line up with the kick drum, and it's going to be just the kick drum and bass guitar, where the bass guitar is going to actually outline what the chords will eventually be. And then there's going to be this moment of silence before, bam, the groove kicks in based off of the kick drum pattern that was set before, but then it's going to modulate to another key, which is going to elevate the whole mood. So I'll basically like talk to myself and write down all these thoughts just back to back to back to back to back. And then it'll be like, okay, and then the bass and the pans will play this unison lick that will take us into a flurry, this emotional build into a cathartic release or something like that. So I'll come up with all these little line items of like, this is what's going to happen next, this is what's going to happen next. And then from there, whenever I sit down at my instrument or at the computer, I try to figure out what tools can I use musically and artistically to bring to life all these ideas that I wrote in the script. And that's probably why my music's so weird. It's because that's basically what I'm doing.